Pope, and I am chair of the ACA Board of Directors, and I'd like to welcome everyone to ACA's 140th annual membership meeting. On behalf of ACA's board and staff, I'd like to thank all of you for participating in our first ever virtual meeting. Before we get started, there are a couple housekeeping issues we'd like to bring up. First, we are in webinar mode. That means that we are not able to see you. You can just see us. If you have any questions or comments, you can use the Q&A function, and the chat function also is live, so feel free to use those. We're going to open this session with a brief video created by an ACA member highlighting some of what our members do. So Kelsey, if you'd get that started, please. Thank you. I hope all of you enjoyed that short video that helped show some of the things that ACA members are doing, where we started out 140 years ago, and things that we've been doing since then. This time last year at our membership meeting in Richmond, we started developing some great plans for 2020. ACA is 140 years old this year, and we'd hope to hold a number of birthday events, highlighting the huge variety of accomplishments that our members have achieved over the past 140 years. We'd hope to celebrate our successes at the Tokyo Olympics and our first Olympic competition since becoming the national governing body for Olympic and Paralympic paddle sports in 2017. We planned a stewardship and member outreach roadshow for the summer, with staff traveling about the country and working with members on issues important to them. And we expected to see ongoing growth in our world-class instructional programs as we reached even more paddlers with and it provided them with the training needed to safely have fun on the water. We expected to have a lot of fun on the way. Instead, we had the same 2020 challenges that everyone else had. And it'd be easy to focus on the problems, the things that we didn't do, all the issues that we and everyone else in the world has had in 2020. But we all know about those, and there's no reason to focus on them. Instead, today we're here to celebrate some of the successes from 2020, to thank and recognize some of the people responsible for those successes, and to look to the future and ongoing success. The first group that I'd like to recognize is the American Canoe Association's staff. Our 15,000 or so member organization has less than 10 full-time employees. They were all introduced at the introductory session 2 nights ago, and everyone had a chance to meet them. If you didn't, we can share that later on. But I want to thank all of our staff members, both our full-time staff and our part-time coaching staff, who've done an incredible job this past year during some really challenging times. The second group I want to thank are our members. ACA is a membership organization. We are all working together. You people, the ACA members and the friends of the ACA that are listening to this are the ones carrying out ACA's missions in education, recreation, stewardship, and competition. You are the ones who are making the world a better place to paddle, and you are the ones who are making it better for everyone who paddles, whether you're an ACA member or not. We're about to recognize members for efforts that go above and beyond, but every person who paddled this year has helped support ACA's fundamental goal of helping people have more fun on the water. During this meeting, we heard that members more support doing that. Our state director meeting this morning is part of our commitment to providing that support and helping our members. After last night's club discussion, Mike Schillinger, former chair of the Tennessee Valley Canoe Club, offered to help ACA strengthen support for Paddle America clubs, and I look forward to working with him as we do that. Member initiative like that is what's going to help all of us help everyone have more fun on the water. Volunteer member-based organizations depend on members to identify something important to them and then step up and take it on. Every year we recognize ACA members who've done that. We know there are many, many people who have stepped up, made a big difference, and we don't know about all of them. We simply don't hear about it, but we do want to recognize some individuals and groups that we know have stepped up and voluntarily made that difference. COVID-19 is without doubt one of the defining things for 2020. Early in the pandemic, organizations across the world tried to figure out how to respond. And ACA was lucky. We had a number of medical professionals, most of them members, but not all of them, who joined to form an advisory group, providing ACA guidance for medical issues. Initially, the group developed an incredibly detailed document that said ACA's response to COVID-19. The group since then has sought to work on evidence-based approaches to reducing boating deaths and continued ongoing work on cold water safety while paddling. I'd like to recognize a few people for their work. And the first is Dr. Steve HENKIND. Steve is an ACA instructor and a physician who led the writing team for ACA's COVID-19 response. He was the lead author on that incredibly in-depth supporting document that I hope all of you have had an opportunity to read. If you paddled or taught paddling this year or talked to people who went paddling, you almost certainly was in some aspect of the work he led. On behalf of the ACA, I'd like to thank him for his efforts leading that. 2 other physicians, Dr. SHAWN KOSNIK and Dr. Kate Maloney. SHAWN is an otolaryngologist and Kate is an infectious disease specialist, also volunteered to help ACA with that effort. That's important. Neither one of them are paddlers, neither one of them are ACA members. But instead, when they were approached and asked for their help, they immediately recognized how important this was and volunteered their services, and we are very appreciative to them. A number of other people have helped with this. They include John Browning. John is an ACA instructor and an an instructor trainer in EMT and chair of the Coastal Kayak Committee. David Pope is a paramedic and instructor in river kayaking and prone paddling. Tom Burroughs is an instructor a instructor in a number of disciplines, and an ENT. Justin Paget, also an instructor and wilderness medicine presenter. Jackie Whitaker, a nurse and instructor. And then finally, Tim Finkenbinder, who is not an instructor. He's a lawyer, and he provided some legal guidance on the response that we provided. That medical team stepped up when we needed a lot of help, and they provided an incredible amount of support that allowed the ACA to give guidance to all of you so that we could safely go out in the middle of a pandemic, understand what we could do and what we couldn't do. And I really want to just express my appreciation to all of them for the incredible amount of work that they put together. Next, I'm going to turn the floor over to our Executive Director, Beth Spillman, who'll discuss some people that you probably would never hear about if it weren't for this presentation, but who made an incredible difference in helping the ACA move forward. So Beth, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Robin. I just quickly want to publicly acknowledge several people who provided a lot of professional advice and assistance to us in the past year. The first was Samantha Otero. Sam is an employment attorney here in Richmond, Virginia, and she, on a pro bono basis, provided hours of assistance with a legal issue that we were faced with. And we really want to publicly thank her and express our appreciation. The next are two women who are both accountants and CPAs. And last summer when I joined the ACA, I quickly realized that we needed some professional assistance in the accounting arena. And Cindy and Liz both worked very tirelessly and with great cheer to help us throughout the summer kind of get our financial house in order. So again, want to publicly state our appreciation to both of them.
Our next award is for outstanding service to paddle sports for support of recreation, education, instruction, and competition events over the last decade. And we're giving that to Duke Power. The Duke leadership team has supported paddle sports and the mission of the American Canoe Association by supporting for more than a decade the ACA Collegiate Race Series, 2 Swiftwater Rescue Conferences, multiple safety training programs, paddling club events, a series of videos produced by the American Canoe Association and Boy Scouts of America, and numerous other recreational activities. They've also provided several first-class river access points in the Tuckasegee River. They've maintained an online view of water levels for lakes and rivers they support, and provided flow unders and water releases for a number of recreational opportunities. We want to thank them for the support that they've done, hoping that it inspires them to continue it and inspires other organizations to support paddling and access. At this point, I'd like to turn the floor to Kelsey Bracewell and let her present some of ACA's national awards. Kelsey?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. This is Kelsey Bracewell, and I work at the ACA office, and I have the pleasure today to speak with you about some of our national award winners. So again, for anyone who submitted a nomination or who cast their vote for this year's nominees, I want to thank you for bringing attention to those who have made a big difference in the paddling community this year, in their communities, and for the ACA as a whole. So thanks to everybody. The first award that we are going to present today is the Excellence in Instruction Award, also known as the Instructor of the Year. And it is my supreme pleasure to award this to Anna Levesque. So if any of you happen to know Anna, she's an ACA level 4 whitewater kayak ITE, a level 2 SUP ITE, level 5 advanced whitewater kayak instructor, SUP yoga instructor trainer, and is currently the chair of the ACA SUP discipline committee. And while all those things are remarkably impressive, I think that her nomination that was submitted included a quote from one of her students, which really says the truth of it all, which is, "I learned more about professionalism and top-notch instruction than I ever knew was possible. Anna holds the highest of standards while beaming compassion and investment in her students." So I think that that is the ultimate truth of why Anna is deserving of this award. In addition to all of those things, she's a really well-known expert on instruction for women and also yoga in the context of paddling, including SUP yoga. She was included in the 2017 Most Inspirational Outdoors Person that was published by Blue Ridge Outdoors magazine. And she was also named one of the most inspirational paddlers alive by Canoe and Kayak magazine. So her 20+ years of experience as not only an international competitor and instructor, but those have all given her the opportunity to empower people all over the world, and certainly very notably in the rivers and lakes near her current residence in Asheville, North Carolina. So Anna, on behalf of the ACA's Board of Directors, Safety Education and Instruction Council, and all of the ACA staff, congratulations. For anyone who feels inclined, please type some messages of congratulations to Anna in the chat. Again, congratulations, Anna. The second award that I would like to introduce this afternoon is the Sanctioned Event of the Year. And it's my pleasure to say that this year's award winner is the Mighty Mayo River Trip organized by the Carolina Canoe Club. For nearly a decade, paddlers and friends of the Carolina Canoe Club have been showing up to paddle the Mayo River in Henry County, Virginia, and Rockingham County, North Carolina. This paddle always happens early in the year and is referred to as an icebreaker. And it's considered by veterans of the trip to be a mini version of the Week of Rivers event that Carolina Canoe Club often conducts. So it's mainly organized by the club's cruise chair, Joe Barry. And they talk about it as an opportunity to dust off the winter cobwebs and holiday crumbs, welcoming paddlers experienced and new and their friends to the river and to the club. The concepts of stewardship and conservation are also added to the fellowship of the trip. Event organizers collect donations and food for Lot 2540, a local food bank that they also use as another contribution to their community. And also they host a potluck menu post-event to continue that camaraderie and building of friendships that support this club. And then once off of the river and enjoyed their meal, volunteers and participants in this event complete a sweep of the riverside access points and roadways and surrounding parks to collect garbage and other trash that they find alongside the river. And so this past year's cleanup yielded dozens and dozens of bags of trash. And finally, the event organizer, Joe Barry, his famous tagline is this: if some slacker seaboater like me can organize an event in the dead of winter that draws around 50 different paddlers, imagine what you can do. So again, congratulations to all members and the leadership of the Carolina Canoe Club who have played a role in this impactful event. If you have any words of congratulations for the Carolina Canoe Club, Joe Barry, or the Mighty Mayo River Trip participants, please consider adding them in the chat. The third award that is my honor to present today is the ACA Green Paddle for Waterway Conservation. And I am pleased to present this award to Bob BRUECKNER and the Carolina Canoe Club. A longtime member of the club, Bob BRUECKNER has been very involved, and their efforts led by him have been numerous and far-reaching. That was accomplished by forging and continuing partnerships with sister organizations like the Ellerby Creek Watershed Association, the Haw River Assembly, Friends of the Lower Haw River State Natural Area, Paddlers Hemlock Health Action Task Force, the Watershed Association of the Tuckasegee River, some local schools, and some other civic groups that are committed to that community. Before all of the COVID-19 restrictions went into effect in North Carolina, several large group events were planned and executed in the name of conservation and stewardship in the areas in which the club operates. But after that time, COVID-19 guidelines and event modifications were put into place so that solo and properly socially distanced small group efforts could continue throughout the club into the spring and the summer of this year. And those events continued to make positive impacts on the waterways in that area. So 2020, this year, is Bob's 6th and final year of service as the Carolina Canoe Club Conservation Chair. And we're so proud to honor him and his decades-long commitment to waterway conservation and the club's overall love of paddle sports. So Bob, once again, congratulations, and we're so proud to honor you and the club with the Green Paddle for Waterway Conservation Award. If you have any words of congratulations and appreciation for Bob and the club, please consider typing them in the chat. It's at this time that I'd like to bring in Ms. Carrie Schlimmer of the ACA staff to deliver some of our next awards.
Hello, everyone. This is Carrie Schlimmer. Like Kelsey said, I work in the national office, and I am more than honored to present the 2020 Joe Pena Volunteer of the Year Award to Jim TIBENSKY, or James. Jim has been lovingly described by his friends and peers as one of the most selfless and giving people that I know. His service and dedication to paddle sports has been long withstanding. From being an International Canoe Federation judge, competing locally, regionally, and nationally in many different paddle sports disciplines, and now selflessly serves the Chicago Voyagers as their volunteer program leader. Jim is a key volunteer for the Chicago Voyagers. He brings his expertise in outdoor skills and also youth work to them. He is currently a level 5 advanced open water coastal kayaking instructor and a level 4 whitewater kayaking instructor. Jim helps to mentor the youth as a kind and patient listener, whether about paddling or overarching life skills. Jim, you're more than deserving of this award. Thank you very, very much for your years of selfless service and unparalleled ambassadorship of paddle sports. Please feel free to put any comments in support of Jim in the comments. Thank you. The next award I would like to present is the J. Henry Rushton for Organizational Excellence, and that is to the Tennessee Valley Canoe Club. In a year that has been anything but normal, the Tennessee Valley Canoe Club stands out as a group that was able to carry out what is believed to be the finest year in a long history of excellence. As one of ACA's Paddle America clubs, TVCC has further solidified their commitment to ACA's mission to further paddle sports education, stewardship, recreational opportunities, community, and even competition. TVCC has worked tirelessly in developing COVID-19 paddling protocols to be able to provide clinics. The summer whitewater training program was successfully reestablished after evaluating COVID-19 protocols and has run 14 trips on the Hiawassee, Nantahala, Pigeon, Green, and Wesser rivers for over 150 students throughout September. The flatwater program saw significant growth and has led over 400 paddlers down local creeks to date. Additionally, TVCC held its very popular Rescue Rodeo, a course that teaches fundamental whitewater safety skills and techniques to 20 students, and held a swiftwater rescue course for 15 others. In addition to the above, in January of 2020, TVCC completed development of an interactive map depicting 255 locations of access ramps, riverside camping, outfitters, and scenic opportunities for flatwater paddling within an hour's drive of Chattanooga. The map was widely shared with outlets that support the local paddling community, including government and tourism organizations. Supporting this map and safe paddling for the entire local community is the TVCC Creek Maintenance Program, now in its 7th year, which this year conducted 88 miles of river maintenance, employing over 250 man-hours by a team of 7 volunteers. TVCC, thank you so much for going above and beyond to helping to represent the ACA as a Paddle America club. I would now like to pass the torch on to Amy Ellis, our membership coordinator, to present our Outstanding State Director Award. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Carrie. I would like to present the Outstanding State Director Award to Andrea White. Andrea not only serves as a member and leader for the Tennessee Valley Canoe Club, but also as the ACA Tennessee State Director. She's worked countless hours for both organizations with the overarching goal of making paddling a fun, safe, and accessible activity. Through her hard work, she's built and established relationships between all 5 of the Paddle America clubs in Tennessee, stewardship initiatives, namely for the beautiful Nolichucky River to be designated as a wild and scenic river. She's worked closely with Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency to maintain a positive relationship with paddlers, and countless hours of work on developing COVID-19 strategies when faced with the pandemic. She pivoted to continue to provide boater education and much, much more. It's not possible to truly convey the magnitude of her hard work, but we hope that this award begins to thank her. And on a side note, she is, along with another Andrea, is also helping to rejuvenate and kickstart the State Director program after a year of being a quiet program. So we cannot thank her enough. So congratulations, Andrea.
Next up is the Havens Leadership Award. The Havens Leadership Award is presented to an individual for outstanding leadership in ACA competition. And this year, it's my privilege to present Marsh Jones with the award. Marsh has served as chair of ACA's Competition Council since its inception in 2017. When ACA became the national governing body for paddling, after a long absence starting in 1984, we entered a whole new world of competition. But we also entered a new world of regulation from the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee. Marsh has led ACA's competition throughout these past 3 years to develop a very own program that met the requirements of USOPC and helped us develop the strongest competition team we've had in many, many years. He's also helped us strengthen our relationship with not only other competitive organizations, but also with other wings of the ACA, including our instructional and stewardship programs. Marsh, we can't thank you enough for all of your work. We just want to say thank you for everything you've done. If you want to take a moment and send Marsh some congratulations on the chat, that would be awesome. The final award today is the ACA President's Award. And the highlight of any ACA chair or any ACA president tenure is the opportunity to recognize people who have made a difference in paddling. This year's award goes to a group that saved a life and demonstrated what I think are the best ideals of the paddling community. Earlier this year, rescue of KANAWHA Falls in West Virginia. The paddler was trapped behind a flake in a waterfall, heads up, but unable to escape. His boat was found floating downstream and local rescuers started a search, but at sunset they stopped. Local boaters, however, learned about this. And as you read the stories on Facebook, it's amazing how this happened. We'll have details about the rescue posted on the ACA website. About 10 o'clock at night, they were able to contact local rescuers and were given permission to initiate a search. Shortly after this, close to midnight, they found the subject and successfully rescued him. Charlie Walbridge, one of the pioneers in swiftwater rescue, describes this as the most miraculous rescue he's heard of in 50 years. I don't have anywhere near Charlie's experience, but I would certainly agree with what he said. The cooperation and coordination of many paddlers and professional rescuers, cooperation and coordination that started years before this rescue happened as they created positive relationships, led to a fellow boater who almost certainly would have died going home to his family. This year's President's Award goes to the member of the Kanawha Falls rescue team. Details of the rescue will be on the ACA website after this meeting, and we have a brief video made by one of the participants that we'd like to share. Kelsey, if you'd bring that video up, please.
On September 20th, 2020, I initiated the rescue of lone Tennessee kayaker Sam Davis at Kanawha Falls, West Virginia. In the middle of this cold fall night, after local search and rescue called off their efforts looking for Sam, the whitewater community stepped up and shined. Stephen Wright, Paul Griffin, Billy Hager, Matthew Jackson, Albert Binkley, Zach Frisbee, Joel Winblock, Jake Ulrich, Ben Jorkman, Felicia Coiner, and myself performed a successful rescue of Sam Davis after he was behind the veil of a waterfall for 6+ hours, in what whitewater legend Charlie Walbridge calls the Midnight Miracle, the most inspiring whitewater rescue in the past 50 years. This award from the ACA does not just represent our efforts from that night, but also the years of professional swiftwater instruction developed and passed on through generations of whitewater athletes. This award represents our amazingly talented community. I hope that this rescue further deepens the relationship between the whitewater community and local authorities. I'm working to do that through my nonprofit work, and if you'd like to follow along and support this effort, please do so on my various accounts. Thank you, American Canoe Association, for this award and all of your continued efforts in keeping our community safe and educated. My name is Corey Lilly. Thank you. On September 20th,
Kelsey, thank you for putting that up. If you haven't read the details of that rescue, I encourage you to. On the chat, it says that it's a real nail biter, and it really is. It's amazing what that group did. It's amazing that the subject went home. We just want to thank everyone that was involved in that rescue, and it's a huge number of people, but their efforts, their work with professional rescuers, the relationships that they've developed with each other led to a person going home, and they're definitely deserving of this award. So thanks very much to them. Thanks to everybody that has listened to this, and congratulations to all the award winners. That concludes our awards presentation. I'm fortunate to have the opportunity to next present the slate of nominees for election to the ACA's board. The ACA is a membership organization, and it's led officially by a group of 15 volunteer board members. Those board members are tasked with setting strategic goals for the ACA, providing oversight for the ACA, and making sure that we are meeting the needs of our membership. And over the next 2 years, we really hope to continue expanding things, providing already doing, and reaching out and providing more services to our membership. To help do that, we have a slate of 5 candidates for 5 open positions. And I'm going to go ahead and read a little bit of information about each person. The first candidate is Brandon Slate. He is an ACA instructor trainer working with the Rocky Mountain Outdoor Center in Colorado. He brings experience in paddling school management with associated financial and human resources experience and experience in program development. The next member of the slate is CC Williams. CC is an ACA instructor trainer who works with the Parks and Recreation Department in Rock Hill, South Carolina. He brings experience in Parks and Recreation programming, municipal government relations, and human resources management. I am the third applicant. My term as a board member ends this year, and I'm asking for the opportunity to serve again. I'm an instructor trainer educator and the current board chair. I have experience in paddling related public policy, instructional program development, and sports medicine. The fourth candidate, Sarah Bond, is a former member of the U.S. national team, Olympic level paddler with high level experience in accounting and financial management, as well as experience in summer camp programs where she teaches. She currently is teaching summer programs at a camp in Western North Carolina. And the fifth member of the slate is Rainey Hoffman. He's an experienced expedition paddler and attorney with high-level experience in corporate governance and financial management. The ACA board believes that this slate provides a wide range of knowledge and experience. I apologize for the phone in the background. ACA's board believes this slate provides a wide range of knowledge and experience with abilities in program development, financial management, corporate governance, human resources management, municipal programs, paddling school programming, and paddling related public policy issues. We believe this slate will help lead the ACA to further growth and to strengthen member support, allowing ACA's leadership, staff, and our members to better carry out the mission and to better serve our members. So at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Kelsey, who will discuss our upcoming voting procedures, and then to Beth and the staff for some closing remarks. Thanks again for everybody that has participated in this first ever virtual meeting. I hope you've enjoyed the meeting. I hope you've gotten a lot out of it. And for me, one of the take-homes is that we need to do this again. We've had a huge amount of participation. It's way easier to do this if we don't have to travel, and we will definitely be continuing to use Zoom and other webinar services to make sure that we are reaching out to the membership. So again, thank you, and I'll turn it over to Kelsey.
Thanks, Robin. I really appreciate it. I just wanted to say thank you to everyone for attending and listening to our award ceremony and for hearing our slate of award nominees. And so how you can submit your vote for these nominees and read more about each of them on the What's New portion of the ACA website, where you can currently find recordings of our previous meeting sessions and things. We're going to have those bios linked there for each of these nominees and a form to submit your votes. Okay. But we'll also include a link to those important items in our post conference follow-up survey. Okay. If you get that survey, please give us your honest feedback about this experience for you, no matter which sessions you have attended, and also take the opportunity to cast your vote, because it really does matter in the selection of board members. We'll also send an email to all current members, inviting them to review the nominee information, as well as to cast their votes online. And we'll also post a promotional bit about that on all of our social media platforms and the What's New portion of our website, so that you can access it from almost anywhere.
Thank you, Kelsey. And we really do encourage everyone to vote. By our bylaws, we need at least 100 people to vote to get what's considered a quorum. So please take a second to vote for the board. And again, Robin said it, Kelsey said it, but I have to say it again. Thank you all. Thank you for being here. I think it's clear, because, based on all the sessions that were led by volunteers, how important our volunteers are to ACA, and how we wouldn't be able to do really much of anything without help from volunteers. So many of our sessions were so well attended, and we just really appreciate it. We had over 680 people who registered for the conference, and we are thrilled by the response that we've gotten, and we thank you all so much. So I guess that's it for now. I'm sort of sad that it's over. We will have follow-up sessions. The survey will help us know what is important and interesting to you all. Please fill that out. And, we just look forward to seeing you again on a Zoom call, and I hope in person sometime soon. So thank you, and I hope you have a great Saturday.